Hey, this is Matthew.
And this is Andrea.
Welcome back to Nerd News today, and we've got a really awesome statue review coming up for you right now.
From Diamond Select Toys, we have the Rocketeer. It's a gallery diorama resin statue.
That's right. A lot of what we've looked at in the past from Diamond has been mostly their PVC diorama statues. So this is our first resin piece, aside from like the recent Cyclops bust we did. But this is really our first full-figured statue that's made of resin, which is pretty cool. Best of all, this guy is actually limited to 3,000 pieces, which makes it even more exclusive. So as you guys can see, it's in the traditional diamond rectangular box. They're always pretty easy to deal with, nice for storage, easy to put away but not on display.
Yeah, and it has your favorite side views and, you know, and the sunroof.
Classic sunroof. Well, you need that for the Rocketeer. It's got to blast off somehow.
I don't think that came out the way you expected it to.
I think you're right. Let's look at the back.
So the back has a nice little bio, which we've talked about other statues and maybe not really liking some of the bio stuff that's been written. In this case, it's actually a pretty decent,
They did a very good job of really compressing the movie into like 3 sentences. It's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, which also makes me think that if they can do this, then they should be doing this on everything.
Yeah, because some of the endgame statues looked at recently had not the greatest bios.
No.
But this is actually pretty good, so hats off to them for doing that.
Seriously, I appreciate that. It also says that it was designed by Caesar and sculpted by Rocco Tartamella.
But of course, you guys aren't here to see the Rocketeer in his box, so let's blast him off and take a look at it from all angles.
Again, I don't think you mean to say that. Or maybe you do, and I should leave you alone with this statue.
I guess we should review it first, then I can have my alone time. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the Rocketeer out of the package and take a look at him from all angles.
So we're back, and let's take a look at the Rocketeer.
So he is blasting off, because that's what I'm all about today, apparently, from his base, which is really cool. So this is a resin piece, and it's a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
A little bit heavier, but not much, because the majority of it actually still is a lot of this translucent plastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's still relatively light comparatively.
So let's start with the sculpting, which is really cool. This is him flying off in the air, and there's no lightness to worry about. So all we really have to worry about is getting the accuracy of the helmet, the outfit, and the backpack. And I'd say that they've nailed all fronts on that.
I'm gonna agree with you. I mean, this is this is really on point.
Got all the details in the right places. Now, granted, his suit doesn't have like a ton of details, but it's the little things that matter in a case like this. Like, for example, the little laces on his boots. They're really nice.
The little folds in the jacket and his pants.
The threading you can see actually on his hand pieces.
That's really cool.
Yeah, you can even see he's got the little button there to help himself fly.
Up here with the little buttons and everything. The way that the helmet is. I mean, there's just a lot of really cool detail.
And what's also really nice too is, since you're the texture right here, you can definitely talk about this, is how we have the difference in texture between the clothing. And you can definitely see, the leather jacket, the leather boots, and then these kind of khaki pants that he's got on.
Yeah, but the cool thing is, even with the boots and the jacket, it's still a different type of leather. I mean, this actually looks a little bit newer. This looks like it's been worn a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that's really neat, the way that they're doing that.
I have to say, we've looked at mostly Avengers and Marvel stuff, based on typically the movies or the comics, but even comparing this to the movie pieces, I feel like the way the clothes were approached here, it's almost a little more realistic.
I think I agree with you. I mean, looking at this, yeah. And the way the zipper is.
A lot of good details.
Even the fly. I know that's such a weird thing to say, but even the fly, this feels very realistic.
Yeah. So unfortunately, one of the downsides, and you guys can see it's kind of glaring up top, is his fin on his helmet. It's just, it's got a floppy fin there. It's bending this way, and I don't really know what you guys can do about that to fix it, because everything else is resin, with the exception of this little rubbery piece here.
Hashtag floppy fin.
Floppy fin. So you might be able to maybe heat it up and eventually hold it in place to get it to stay, but again, being that it's floppy, it's going to always be an issue. And I'm surprised they didn't just go with that as resin as well.
They might have been worried that it might break off.
Which is very true.
So this, at least, even though it's moving, at least it's going to stay.
Yeah.
So that's the best I can come up with. It's funny, I'm looking at the helmet, and I'm really loving how, from different angles, it actually looks as though that there's nothing there. It looks as though there's a face underneath there.
Totally, yeah. Although the one downside about our particular piece we're looking at today, he's got some schmutz on one of his lenses there.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. Might be able to get off with some glue on, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's a little unfortunate. It's buyer beware.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we were hoping that it was just like, oh, it's wear and tear. It's like he was flying or whatever. But no, that's clearly a paint smudge.
But to be fair, everything else is actually exceptionally clean.
It really is. I mean, oof. I think we should talk about the jetpack actually,
Yeah.
because look at that.
That's like one of my favorite parts of it. I mean, I just love the Art Deco look of him as a whole. It's got the whole 40s vibe. Everything about the Rocketeer was designed to look like it was in the 40s, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But especially like I've always loved the jetpack. It's one of my favorite props in movie history.
It's really fun, and I think some of you might notice a little detail right over here. It may or may not be some bubble gum. Beeman's gum, I should say.
Indeed it is. I was actually wondering when we got this if it was going to have the gum on the back or not.
Yeah.
And I was so happy that it did. You know, that's a big thing to not have if you don't include it on there. That's a big thing. Fans will notice that. So glad that it's there. And I just love the design of the pack. It's a glorious piece.
It's really cool. And again, when you talk about texture, it's like, the fact that the little, what is it, the rivets?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, they're raised. You feel them. So this is just a fun figure to, it's like, it's great to look at, but the texture just also makes it fun to touch.
And we bring up texture, especially for this statue, because it's just so much more lifelike. And I know there's a lot of viewers out there who are collectors of statues or figures who are visually impaired. And I think this is a real treat. This is one of the statues that's a real treat for you guys. There's a lot to feel, and we're going to talk about the base now, too. Because there's no base. It's basically his jetpack flames that are the base. There's a lot of really nice stuff to feel on this.
Yeah.
And again, like this big plume of fire coming out of his jetpack is just amazing. Like, I love this.
This is like I'm such a happy translucent nerd right now. So one other detail that I really want to talk about, and I know this is such a weird thing, but I'm looking at his pockets and I'm looking at his butt. And the reason for that, not that you can easily see his butt, and I swear I'm not like some weird booty hound or anything like that, but what's really cool about this is the pants. Like the detail of the pockets and how the pockets are just like a tiny bit open. Like in these kind of hands, that's exactly how it would be. And around the butt and the upper thigh area, the way the pants are just kind of wrinkling, that's like just really cool detail, because this is stuff that was going to be blocked by, by the flames. So they didn't necessarily need to put that in, but they did, and I'm really grateful that they're doing it, because it's
basically flapping from the wind coming down on him. So it's really, it makes it more dynamic. It makes it feel more lifelike. That's even if people don't really necessarily know what a lifelike thing looks like for someone flying, you can tell by the weight of the clothes and how they're moving and how they're draping around someone.
Yeah.
You can still tell what's happening. So, when they get this, it's all the little things that when they work together, you don't notice they're wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening here, because it's 100% correct.
Yeah, and it's just, wow.
And in fact, what I want to do now is compare it to two Marvel Avengers Endgame PVC statues, also from Diamond. These are PVC as opposed to the resin, but the point is I want to show you guys the different effects we've had for like lifting off and stuff.
I'm going to move.
And just how it compares, because we're used to seeing this more like, this sleek, modern style with the translucence here. You can see, Tony's is red, Rescue has that awesome blue.
And there's fire!
Yeah, and we've got fire coming out of it. Like, he just got some Taco Bell, I guess. But wow, I mean, that is so impressive. This, like, the big plume is so impressive looking. I love that. So we just want to give you guys a look at some of the other effects that we've seen with this. Just compare him to other flying characters, other flying sculptures.
Okay, one thing I do want to point out, point being the operative word, there's only one sharp death piece on this one.
Oh, nice.
As opposed to Rescue, which is nothing but death pieces in the, in this. And even Tony has death pieces.
His eye gouger.
Yeah, but right here is the only sharp piece. Everything else is much more rounded and softer.
So as opposed to other flyers that are piercing tools, Rocketeer is more of a bludgeoning weapon.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's an accurate way to put it.
Okay, so there you go, folks. That's just some other flyers, and I would have loved to maybe have a little bit of like the smoke effect that you're seeing with Tony, because I did love this smoke effect on the Iron Man statue.
Yep.
I do love this like smoke effect that's swirling around him and stuff, but that's not how the Rocketeer works. The Rocketeer is a much more primitive flying tool. It just bursts fire out of your ass, basically.
But that actually, it's sort of what I'm liking about it. It's similar to Rescue, where it's just like boom, lift off, but also like the way his body's shaped, which I think also kind of adds more to it. Rescue looks like she's sitting. Tony's got his chest motion. He's like, yes, I'm doing things. The Rocketeer, he's blasting off.
Yeah,
his
see,
body,
you said it now.
I did, but he's blasting off in his jetpack as opposed to the kind of blasting off you were talking about earlier.
Oh, well,
But anyway, you could tell by the way that his body's curved and the way his feet are positioned. He's just going straight up. It's just really cool and dynamic, and it's something that I think Diamond has, like, their statues have done such a great job. it capturing.
Yeah, I think any of their aerial figures tend to be a little bit better than the ones that are on the ground.
Yeah.
Weird thing to say, but
no, I think
personal
it's
preference.
true because there's just something about it where they're just really capturing the body positions,
Real
and the body
sense of
shapes.
weight and gravity to them, or defying gravity in this case.
Yeah, they're wicked good.
If you got that joke, let us know in the comments. So final thoughts on the Rocketeer. Aside from the floppy fin, a little bit of schmutz, I'm just so excited to have a Rocketeer statue, and this one does not disappoint. And I wouldn't be saying even if these were not schmutzier, I'd still be very happy with this. Even if it was more schmutzy, I'd still be really happy with this piece.
Yeah, the Rocketeer isn't one of my fandoms. It's like I don't know that much about it. I know I've seen parts of the movie. I don't know if I've actually seen the full movie. And this is just such a cool figure.
And now you see why people love it, because it's basically because of Cliff over here in his Rocketeer outfit.
I mean, I've known what he looks like. I know what the Rocketeer looks like. I know what all that stuff, but this just brings it to life in a way that I was not expecting. This makes me want to go make sure I watch the movie and know that for a fact that I can say I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me curious about the comics too, because this is just wowza.
Yeah, totally is. Everything about this well-designed, great dynamic piece. The thing with the Rocketeer too, back when the movie first came out, was there just a real lack of merch.
Yeah.
Like I always felt like Rocketeer was supposed to be this big franchise, and it just went nowhere. It fizzled for whatever reason. And now here we are, 2020. We're finally getting a lot more Rocketeer merch, and most of it is coming from Diamond this year, which is what's really exciting. So this is the first piece. Hopefully, many we will look at.
Yeah.
Because in addition to this resin piece here, there's also, I believe, a much larger resin statue. There's going to be a bust of his head, which is I think a 1-to-1 scale, and we're getting a Diamond action figure, which is the first action figure he's had in a long time. Basically, the last one we got was by Funko, which was like their 6-inch figures, and I passed up on it because it was garbage. It was Funko. It was absolute crap. So I'm happy to get like a Rocketeer. It's going to be in the 7-inch scale, better team behind it, who actually puts more quality in their work than Funko does. Not bitter.
No, not at all.
It's a big year for Rocketeer merch, and I'm excited to look at all of it when they all come out.
This might be one of my absolute favorites of the Diamond statues that we've seen.
Wow, big words.
It is. I'm really surprised to say that. It's just there's something about how this is that's just getting my attention, or definitely up there. It's one of my favorite Diamond statues, and that's so weird considering my lack of knowledge of the Rocketeer.
Yeah.
I kind of love when that happens though. When it's a fandom that you only sort of know about, franchise you only know a little bit about, and then all of a sudden you're just in.
Well, that's why the Rocketeer is so cool, because whatever it is about him, everything about him is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's a franchise that never was, that should have been, and had all the means to have become a really big piece of pop culture stuff out of the 90s. And it said it's a cult classic, but what a classic it is.
Oh my god! He has hair!
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. You can kind of see
He has hair!
he actually has a little bit of hair sculpted into that's poking out, so that's a really cool detail.
Okay, yeah, definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, all right,
Okay,
awesome.
that right there. It's such a
Sold.
little detail that the little details mean everything. They really do when it comes to these kinds of statues.
So that's a look at the Rocketeer, the resin statue from Diamond Select, and there's going to be more Rocketeer stuff coming out this year, so make sure, stay tuned to Nerd News today to see everything Rocketeer is coming out.
Oh god, I'm afraid of what's gonna happen once I finally see the movie.
Oh, it's going to be great.
It's game on.
I mean, it's got Rom in it.
That is true.
It's got Max Grodinchik from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
No, we're done. Check. It also has, what was it?
May Hardu is in it, I believe, also.
Yeah, Tiny Ron, is it?
Tiny Ron is in it.
Yeah.
It's a who's who of DS9.
Oh, this is gonna be so bad.
There's so
for
many
me.
other great actors in the movie. You're in
I
for
know
a treat.
who the cast is. I'm just like, dang.
It's going to be a big year for Rocketeer, so everybody who's been out there waiting, like I have, patiently for good Rocketeer merch, Diamond Select has you in 2020, and we're going to look at all of it as this year goes on.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm Matthew.
I'm excited. And Andrea as well.
And this is Cliff Secord. He's going to go fly on out of here. Oh my god, look how cool that looks in the other camera. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that.
That does actually look pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, here, you can take them away.
Yay!
We'll see you guys next time.